What if the thing you've been searching for your entire life is already closer than you think? Think about this for a second. How many people spend years chasing success, money, relationships, or happiness, believing that the answer is somewhere far away? They move cities, change careers, and constantly look for the next opportunity. But what if the real treasure isn't at the end of the journey? What if the journey itself is the treasure? This is the life-changing question at the heart of The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho, a book that has inspired millions of readers around the world. It's a simple story about a young shepherd boy searching for hidden treasure. But beneath that simple story lies a powerful message about dreams, purpose, fear, and the hidden signs life sends us every day. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why this book has transformed so many lives, and why its message might completely change the way you think about your own future. Let's begin. Published in 1988 by Brazilian author Paulo Coelho, The Alchemist became one of the most beloved books of all time. It has sold tens of millions of copies and has been translated into dozens of languages. But here's what's fascinating. People don't love this book because it's complicated. They love it because it's simple. Its lessons feel timeless, almost like a modern-day fairy tale for adults. The story follows Santiago, a young shepherd living in Spain. One night, he has a recurring dream about finding treasure near the Egyptian pyramids. Most people would ignore such a dream, but Santiago chooses something different. He chooses to listen. And this decision launches him into an adventure that changes his life forever. The central idea of the book revolves around what Coelho calls a personal legend. A personal legend is your true purpose. It's the thing you are meant to do, the dream that keeps calling your name. The book asks a powerful question. What happens when you stop ignoring your deepest dream and finally decide to pursue it? And this is exactly where the story becomes incredibly powerful. Early in his journey, Santiago meets a mysterious king named Melchizedek. The king introduces him to one of the book's most famous ideas. He tells Santiago that when you truly want something, the entire universe conspires to help you achieve it. Now, this doesn't mean success magically appears. It means opportunities, lessons, people, and experiences begin appearing when you're committed to your goal. Most people never realize this until it's too late. They give up before the opportunities arrive. They quit when things become uncomfortable. They choose safety over growth. Santiago could have stayed home. He could have continued taking care of sheep. It was safe, predictable, comfortable. But deep inside, he knew he wanted more. And that's the first lesson of the book. Every meaningful dream requires courage. Not because the path is impossible, but because fear constantly tries to convince you not to begin. The biggest obstacle is rarely the outside world. It's the voice inside your head telling you that your dream is unrealistic. As Santiago travels toward Egypt, something terrible happens. He gets robbed. Suddenly, he loses nearly everything. His money is gone. His plan falls apart, and his dream seems impossible. This is where most people would quit. But Santiago doesn't. Instead, he finds work in a crystal shop. At first, this feels like a detour, a delay, a mistake. But over time, he learns something important. Every setback contains a lesson. Every obstacle carries hidden value. While working at the shop, Santiago helps improve the business and earns enough money to continue his journey. Think about your own life. How many times did something painful eventually lead to growth? A failed relationship, a lost job, a business failure, a rejection. At the time, those moments feel devastating. But years later, they often become the very experiences that shaped us. The Alchemist teaches that failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of success. And the people who achieve extraordinary things are often the ones who refuse to stop after temporary setbacks. As the story continues, Santiago enters the desert. And this is where the book becomes deeply spiritual. He begins learning what Coelho calls the language of the world. In simple terms, it's the idea that life constantly communicates through signs, intuition, and experiences. Have you ever had a feeling you couldn't explain? A gut instinct that turned out to be right? A chance encounter that changed everything? The book suggests these moments aren't random. They're clues. But here's the challenge. Most people are too distracted to notice them. They're constantly busy, constantly rushing, constantly consuming information. Santiago learns to slow down and pay attention. He starts trusting his heart, not blindly, but wisely. The lesson here isn't that every feeling is correct. It's that your intuition often knows things before your logical mind catches up. Success isn't only about strategy. Sometimes it's about awareness, about recognizing opportunities others ignore.
During his journey, Santiago falls in love with a woman named Fatima. And now he faces another challenge. Should he stay with the person he loves or continue chasing his dream? Many people believe love requires sacrificing personal ambition. But The Alchemist offers a different perspective. True love doesn't stop growth. True love supports it. Fatima encourages Santiago to continue his journey because real love wants you to become the person you're meant to be. Then comes perhaps the most important lesson in the entire book. The fear of suffering is worse than suffering itself. Read that again. The fear of failure, the fear of rejection, the fear of embarrassment. These fears often hurt us more than the actual experience. Most dreams die because of imagined pain, not real pain. Santiago learns that once you confront your fears, they lose much of their power. And suddenly, possibilities begin to appear. Finally, after countless challenges, Santiago reaches the pyramids, the place from his dream, the place where he believed the treasure was hidden. But then, something unexpected happens. He discovers that the treasure was actually back in Spain, near the church where his journey originally began. At first, this seems ironic. He traveled thousands of miles only to end up where he started. But that's exactly the point. The journey transformed him into someone capable of finding the treasure. Without the adventure, he would never have understood its value. And this is the deeper message of the entire book. Sometimes life takes us far away so we can see what was always there. The goal isn't just reaching the destination. The goal is becoming the person the journey requires you to become. So what can we learn from The Alchemist? First, listen to your dreams. Not society's dreams, not your family's dreams, your dreams. Second, understand that obstacles are part of the path. They are not signs to quit. They are signs that you're growing. Third, trust the process. Life rarely unfolds in a straight line. The detours often become the most valuable parts of the story. And finally, remember this. The treasure you're seeking may not only be money, success, or achievement. It may be wisdom, growth, purpose, courage, or the person you become while pursuing your dream. Paulo Coelho's message is simple but unforgettable. Every person has a personal legend. Every person has a calling. And the greatest tragedy isn't failing to achieve it. The greatest tragedy is never trying. So ask yourself